Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about a scene from Love and Marriage DC involving Winter and her boyfriend Yusha. In just a few minutes, we actually learned a couple of major dynamics to their relationship that I definitely want to talk about. Now, before I play this soundbite and give my commentary, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Even if you hit the dislike button, both work the same, meaning that YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy talking about relationships, dating, and the different way that people interact with each other in relationships. Also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I'm also going to, at the end of this video, add a link to my video about Selena from Bring It and Bell Collective. That's also a relationship video that I think that is very important and it generates a lot of conversation. All right, so the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite is allowed for criticism. So I want to play the audio from this scene. Yusha and Winter, they went to an ice skating rink there in the DC area. Then they decided to have a conversation. So I'm going to play this soundbite and then come back with my commentary. About us, it's been a few months. I do feel like it's probably time that you start meeting some pretty important people. I just feel like my kids are starting to ask more questions. I always start with Kayla first. I think it's time for us to start to dabble into meeting the family. Yeah. And just doing some of the things that allow us to really see if we are the cohesive pair we appear to be. Introducing children is a huge step in the relationship. It has to be worth it. I have to know that this relationship is something that I'm going to entertain for a long period of time. And so we've had very intentional discussions. So I think we can handle it. Handle it? I've never done it before, right? So the exact challenge, I don't know, but it's like all challenges in life. We'll do it together. We'll figure it out. So we've been talking for some time. I want to get a clear answer on this. How do you really feel about maintaining this, abstinence? Yes. How long you want to do this? The goal is until marriage. It's not as hard for me as it may be for other people because I've practiced it before. I just try to do my best not to tempt you. Look, this is my analogy. I always tell you, my strength is in not buying the cookies from the cookie aisle. But if there are cookies in my house, I'm going to eat them. And you was in my house. We've been spending a lot of time with each other, even staying the night over each other's houses. And no, we have not done the deed. The deed has not been done. I'm still solid on the idea that we need to wait till marriage. I think as a man, I have my moments, but I truly believe that the outcome will be a lot more blessed if we do it God's way. I'm committed to that. No matter how tough it is, no matter how hard it gets. I'm proud of us. It definitely is not for the faint of heart. No, I'm happy for the decision. I just want to make sure we align in that way. Which is why I advocate for waiting until marriage. So I'm locked in, I'm locked in. If marriage is the ultimate destination, then I want you to know I'm 100% cool with that. Okay. That's what my mind and my spirit is saying. Just check me on the days when my body take over. I'll check you. I'll definitely hold you accountable. Highly sexy when a man can be intentional about how he pursues relationships. I'm happy to see it. I wanted to address something with you because we've had a lot of conversations. I love that you're an alpha male, sexy to me, but that sometimes comes with not expressing through words. I think you're an action-oriented person, which I appreciate. I love that. But as a woman who's a words of affirmation when it comes to her love language, I would love to hear you express more. Yusha and I have gotten to the place in our relationship where we're starting to develop strong feelings for each other. In fact, I told Yusha that I loved him. Yusha's response, and I quote, was, "I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that with me." I don't know. It didn't feel good. I know your love language is words of affirmation. It is. I do. We can have all the words in the world to
speak intelligently and profound. When it comes to the matters of the heart, it can get a little difficult. And sometimes the fear that you have about not being out there by yourself can be expressed in sometimes my lack of ability to speak. I'm working on it. I'm gonna continue to grow and build and understand how to speak to you in the ways that you need to be spoken to. Thank you. But also, I need you to know that, like, I'm gonna care for you. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch out for you. That's kind of how I naturally express love. So watch out for those things too, because I'm gonna be right there with you. I see that, and I appreciate it, and thank you for at least hearing me out and working on it. I appreciate you too. Can I have a kiss?
Okay, so that was a loaded soundbite, and let's get right on into it. So, Winter stated that they have been dating a few months. Now, we know, of course, that reality TV is filmed, a few months in advance before us viewers see the episodes. With Love and Marriage DC, this is even a more unique situation because the OWN network, they haven't shown us the rest of this season 2 in nearly a year. So they actually filmed this in late 2022, and then we saw some of those episodes in early 2023, a year ago. We probably saw about 10 episodes. And then once spring came, early spring, the show went on hiatus, and then it did not return for another 10 months, which is where we are today. And they're still on season 2. Really bad scheduling on OWN's behalf. Okay, so I just want to give that context. So she said they have been dating for a few months. So when I think of the word few, FEW, I think of numbers 3, 4, 5, which in my opinion is not a long time. I feel like if they had been dating for 6 months, she would have said, we've been dating for 6 months. We've made it to 6 months now. But no, she said a few months, and she feels like it is time to meet the kids. I disagree. I feel like that is way too soon to introduce anyone to the kids, for various reasons, because you're still getting to know a person. They could still be pretending to be nice and not a psycho in a few months. And you just would not want the kids to think that this is a person who could be around long term and permanently. And then also, if the person that you're introducing to the kids, if they are a psycho, you don't want them thinking, yeah, I got her. She's willing to bring me around the kids. She trusts me. I would just still have my guard up. As you all know, I don't have children, but if I did have a kid, it would take me a while before they got to meet the person I was dating. At least 6 months. I'm thinking closer to a year, because I really want to feel like I have a better understanding of this person before I bring them around my child. What do you all think? Now, another thing, obviously, that I want to talk about is her saying, I love you. But before I do that, I want to talk about the subject of celibacy. So, Winter, she has a goal of being celibate until she is married. And Yusha actually asked her, how long are we doing this? Now, again, Winter said that they've been dating for a few months. So, Yusha, it makes sense to me that the two of you have not had sex yet because you've only been dating for a few months. She has to see that you are even worthy of getting the cookie. Okay. I know you think you got cookies in your house, but time to time she's just bringing her cookies around you. That doesn't mean that you're going to get a bite or get the whole bag. So I get it why they haven't done it for a few months. And ideally, I do think that celibacy, it is good because, that just seems to be hopping into bed, just seems to be the thing that a lot of people do very freely. And I get it that we are adults. I get that you have urges. I'm a bedroom candy consultant. I totally get that. But I also feel like not everyone deserves all of you. You can't just give your pearls to everybody. especially when they turn out to be a pig. You can't do that. Everyone does not deserve you like that. So I totally get moving slow physically. I think that that is smart and safe, but to each his own. If you're going to get physical, just protect yourself, because I wouldn't want to see your health be at issue over a few minutes of pleasure. But I know that we all know those things. But kudos to Winter for being very verbal and direct about what she wants. She wants celibacy. Her goal is marriage. I think that that's great that she has been upfront about what she expects in a relationship. So, ladies, whatever it is that you want, don't feel like you're going to push him away by telling the truth about what you want. If he can't handle you wanting to be married, he wasn't the one for you anyway. If he does not share your goals, your life goals, he isn't the person for you anyway. So don't feel like you have to hold back who you are and what you desire because you want to keep him around. That whole notion of you're pushing him away, you might push him away. Don't say that. Don't say that too soon. And X, Y, and Z. When, men are not like that. If they want to do it, they want to do it. He asked her up front, how long are we doing this? So on the flip side, you also express what you want to see in your relationship. All right, so let's talk about Winter saying I love you first. So I am not the advocate for saying I love you first. And I know, I definitely believe in saying what you want and expect in a relationship. But if you say that I love you first, that's not expressing a desire. That's being indirect about it if you're expecting an I love you back, which I think in Winter's case, she was expecting him to reciprocate. But I look at it as perhaps we should not throw the L word around. And I think Yusha just didn't want to say I love you if that's not how he truly felt. Him not saying it was him being honest about his feelings. And I know it sucks. It sounded like a scene from Sex and the City, like she would be Charlotte saying to a man, I love you. And he says, I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that with me. Not the most romantic response. I would have felt a little embarrassed, and perhaps even some people could take that as rejection. But if he doesn't love you yet, at least he's being honest and he's not love bombing you. And if you all remember season one of Love and Marriage DC, or it may have been the first half of season two, when we saw Winter's children, her daughter said, Mom, that guy talking about her second husband, he love bombed you. He told you all the things that you wanted to hear. You all didn't spend that much time together because they started dating during Carnival 19 when we were all under lockdown. So she didn't know that he was living at home allegedly and had financial issues. And it just seemed like that marriage was really rushed. So I feel like with Yusha not saying the I love you back, I feel like at least he's being honest and he was not love bombing Winter. And I definitely, I appreciate we're in the trailer for this second half of Love and Marriage DC. We see a scene between Winter and one of her girlfriends where she tells her, just take your time because I do feel like love blinds you. And, Winter has experienced being married, being a mom, so she has experienced a lot of the things that are promoted in our society, marriage and motherhood. Lots of women want that and have thought about that since they were kids. So I feel like at this point in her life, in my opinion, she could really just chill and just date, especially with the marriage is not working out, unfortunately. If I were in her shoes, marriage wouldn't be necessarily the priority because I would say, well, I've experienced that before. I've even been blessed with healthy children. I'm a mom, let me just chill and just date and just get to know this guy. So like I kind of cringed when I heard her talk about saying I love you first. And I think that she should just chill and just date, you know what I mean? But I definitely want to hear from you all. What do you think about Winter telling Yusha, I love you first? What do you think about after a few months of dating? Would you introduce someone to your children? And definitely celibacy, is that a thing in our society? Does society make room for ideas such as celibacy? I cannot wait to hear what you all have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video. It helps the channel out so much. And thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.